All right, for any elite advisor, you know the game is won or lost on your ability to generate alpha, that unique, market-beating value that you bring to the table. But what if the entire industry's rulebook is just wrong? Today, we're going to dive into a philosophy that flips all that conventional wisdom right on its head. This is the Alpha Installation Thesis. It's a radical internal shift designed to protect and seriously amplify your true edge.
So let's just start with a pretty uncomfortable question, shall we? Are your best tools, the tech, the data, all the platforms you rely on, are they actually making you weaker? I know, it's a provocative thought, but it points to this massive trap that even the sharpest pros fall right into. And that trap, it's built on something called the myth of more. It's this really seductive idea that if you just have more information, more tools, more preparation, then somehow you'll get more clarity and, of course, better results. But what if that whole idea is fundamentally backwards?
Okay, check this out. The industry constantly tells us that we need to have everything figured out before we make a move. That's the lie. Clarity must precede action. But the alpha truth, it completely inverts that logic. It argues that clarity isn't something you need to start acting. Clarity is the result of your action. You don't find your direction by sitting around perfecting a plan. You find it by getting that plan in motion.
So if the problem isn't a lack of information or some flawed plan, what are you actually fighting against? Well, the answer probably isn't what you think it is.
Most of us, we're conditioned to see these as the big obstacles, right? The usual suspects. Volatile markets, disruptive technology, and of course, aggressive competition. We spend our entire careers trying to outsmart these external forces. But this is all just a misdirection, a distraction from the real enemy. Your real adversary is outsourced judgment. Think about that for a second. It's that quiet, creeping habit of letting external systems, platforms, and just conventional wisdom make the big decisions for you. It's what we call permission-based thinking, waiting for a tool or a trend to tell you what to do next. This right here, this is the source of the leak. It's the exact point where your unique value, your alpha, just drains away.
So how do you fight something like outsourced judgment? Well, you need a new foundation, a completely new core belief, and this is the Alpha Installation Thesis.
This right here, this is the non-negotiable core of the entire philosophy. Get this, alpha doesn't come from what you know or what you buy. It comes from what you do, consistently, under pressure. Your true edge is found in your behavior, not in your resources. Everything else, literally everything, is downstream from this one powerful belief.
Okay, so once you really accept that behavior is the true source of alpha, you're going to need a new set of operating rules. The old ways of measuring success, they just don't apply anymore.
Think about it. Most tools out there are designed for one thing: faster output. They help you do more of the same stuff, just quicker. But the alpha approach, it's not about speed, it's about authority. It's about using technology not just to automate your to-do list, but to amplify your unique judgment and your decision-making power.
And this is so true with AI. Look, AI is not a magic wand, it's an accelerator. If your underlying system, your judgment, your standards is weak, AI is just going to help you fail faster. But if your standards are strong, AI becomes this incredible force multiplier, compounding your strengths. You've got to have structure first, then automation second.
Now this brings us to a really powerful way to reframe things. You know that feeling of disorientation, of being a little lost? That's not a sign of failure. It's a leadership signal. It actually means you're breaking free from someone else's pre-written script. See, comfort might keep you employed, but it's in the discomfort, in that uncertainty, where true enterprise value is actually built.
Here's a subtle but absolutely vital distinction. A creator's job is to produce output, an article, a video, a report, but an advisor's job is different. You are accountable for outcomes. And this is why all those generic, output-focused tools can be so dangerous. Your value isn't measured by the volume of your work. It's measured by the quality of your client's result.
And that brings us right back to behavior, doesn't it? All the knowledge in the world is totally useless if it doesn't translate into action. In fact, knowing what to do and not doing it is actually a liability. And that's exactly why the focus here is on installing behavior, not just teaching concepts. It's about building real decision discipline. So how do we put all of this into a continuous system for growth? We do it by creating a virtuous cycle that plugs the leaks and starts installing alpha as a core operational habit.
This is the alpha compounding loop. It all starts with that feeling of disorientation, which is the trigger for action. That action, when you repeat it, becomes an installed behavior.
Then you amplify that behavior with the right tools and systems, which leads to higher alpha. But what does that new success do? It pushes you to a whole new level, creating a new, higher level of disorientation. And the cycle just begins all over again. It never stops because momentum is so much more important than mastery.
At the end of the day, this isn't about giving you a playbook full of answers. It's about building your capacity to act effectively when there are no clear answers. You see, the real skill isn't knowing what to think, it's knowing how to behave when you're faced with uncertainty.
So the final question is this: where are you outsourcing your judgment? Where are you letting your unique value just leak away because of that permission-based thinking? It's time to stop leaking alpha and start installing it, and it all starts with action.